My name is Caitlen and I am 23 years old and I live with pulmonary hypertension. And I got diagnosed in 2015. I was born with a congenital heart defect, so it's not like I was really healthy to start off with. I always knew when I was growing up I needed another second open heart surgery because I needed a new heart valve. One of the cardiologists was like, well, I think it can be pulmonary hypertension. And all the other people were like, no, it can't be because it's such a rare disease. But he was pretty adamant that it was. And well, yeah, sure enough, it was. So that's how that started. I also felt really shocked, but I think I also felt a bit relieved that in a way that there was something wrong. Sounds a bit weird because you don't want something to be wrong, but it meant that something they could find a treatment and that my situation could go better instead of even worse. I don't think I even realized what it meant because when you're 15, you don't think about those things. You just want to go back to school and be with your mates and go back to playing the sports and stuff, the things you like, and you don't really think about what the pH does to your body. The fact that it's an incurable disease and that probably the fact that it is something you have to live with the rest of your life. Yeah, I think that's what shocked us the most. I was given Selexipag when I turned 18 because I was a grown-up, and that made a really big difference on my life because it really helped me go stronger and get a lot more energy back. Although the first few months being on that medication was terrible because it's quite a difficult tablet to get good control of because you have to up the doses until you physically cannot carry the side effects anymore, which are headaches and nausea and jaw pain and everything you can imagine. So you have to really put yourself and your body in literal hell because it's really painful. And then when you've reached that dosage, that's your doses, and your life is basically back. Well, that's what it was for me because I could go back to walking the dogs, going through the woods, cycling, and not always needing an electric bike anymore. Or if I did use my electric bike, I just could go for hours. And well, it meant I got a bit more of my social life back again, so I could hang out with my friends and go back to school and finish my degrees and everything. So for me, it was a huge impact on that, changing to the Selexipag. Well, what I think is really weird is that you turn 18 and people expect you to be all grown up. But the day you turn 18, the day before you were still 17 and you were still classified as a child. It's not like your brain is just going to be like, oh, I'm 18 now, so I'm going to be all grown up. And being in a adult center, they don't, when they call me in for my appointments, they don't use my front name, but they use my surname. And I had to really get my head around that. And I think really in the beginning, it was really different because my parents couldn't tag along with all the appointments. So quite literally, I could be in the conversations with the doctors, but if I had to go for an echo or an MRI or anything else, they couldn't go with me. And they also did some new tests, and they figured that I must have had a lung embolism or some kind when I was younger. And so they had to put me on blood thinners. And if you play field hockey, that means you cannot play field hockey anymore. So that was quite difficult because that was the only thing I did enjoy still, but I couldn't play it anymore due to, health risks. At first I was like, but now I'm here, I'm growing up, but they are taking something away from me, which I don't like. But now I understand that it was better to start with the blood thinners and to stop the field of people at first. I was a bit like, I want to go back to my old doctor and be a child. My physical health is quite good. I am actually just doing the things I like to do, and I now have a 14-week-old puppy downstairs, and she asks a lot of my my body, but I can actually take care of her, which is something I would not expect to be possible when I was younger. But being ill and having such life experiences on such a young age have definitely done some stuff for my mental health. So yeah, mentally I'm doing great now. I wasn't a couple of months ago. So yeah, that's the other side of being physically ill. 9 of the 10 times you also have mental health issues because, well, yeah, you haven't gone through nothing. So yeah, I'm slowly getting there. Well, I've actually noticed my immune system is getting much stronger with the work I'm doing right now because I get exposed to all these bacteria. And the only thing I do notice is when I do get a cold, it takes a long time to recover. Although it might seem when you recently got diagnosed, you might think your life is over, or maybe you've been going through some like really bad health problems and you think you're never going to get back to where you came from. You will eventually. And it might not be what you expected it to be, but I've learned that a lot of things I want to do, I can still do. I just have to adjust them. So I can travel if I want to travel. I just have to think of how will I get there and what will I do. Last year I went to Spain for the first time without my parents and with a friend, and that was quite a massive step because it was super scary because I wasn't with my parents. But she really understood what it meant for me to just get my rest. So, for instance, she would go to the swimming pool and I would be in the air recovery room just having a nap. And then after like maybe 2 hours, we would go back and do things together again. And she really, yeah, she just understood. She was like, okay, no problem. Which, yeah, makes me happy because that means I can do relatively normal things again. We don't really have an age. Well, yeah, you can feel as young as you want, but mainly it's 18 till, 30 years old. And we do outings every year. We think of things to do, and I organize them with another PH friend. So we think of things we can all do and not things we want to do. It takes time. And that's probably the biggest advice is take your time because it takes time, and then start looking at things you can do again and adjust them to what is manageable.